Prince Andrew reaches an out-of-court settlement with Virginia Giuffre without any admission of liability. Russia claims some troops have withdrawn from the border with Ukraine, but have they? President Biden says Allied action will be swift if Moscow orders an invasion.
If Russia attacks Ukraine, it'll be met with overwhelming international condemnation. The world will not forget that Russia chose needless death and destruction.
Novak Djokovic tells the BBC he's prepared to put his career on the line over the COVID-19 vaccine. And the American author and satirist P.J. O'Rourke has died at the age of 74. At least 10 people have died and 11 are missing after a Spanish fishing boat sunk off the east coast of Canada. 3 crew members have been rescued and efforts to find more survivors are continuing. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez said he was following the rescue operation with concern. The former president of Honduras has surrendered to police after a request by the United States for him to be extradited to America. Juan Orlando Hernandez was fitted with a protective vest as he surrendered to police. He's accused by U.S. prosecutors of being involved in a drug trafficking network. The police chief in the Canadian capital, Ottawa, has resigned over his handling of protests against COVID vaccine mandates. Peter Slowly has faced growing criticism from residents angry that parts of the city have been brought to a standstill for nearly 3 weeks. Some have described seeing police fist bump demonstrators and allow fuel and other supplies to reach their encampments. The family of a woman who was shot dead on a film set in the U.S. are suing the actor Alec Baldwin and the movie's other producers for wrongful death. Last October, Baldwin was pointing a gun at Halyna Hutchins when it went off. He says he never pulled the trigger. A criminal investigation into the cinematographer's killing is continuing.
For the first time in US history, a gun manufacturer has been held liable for a mass shooting. Remington Arms has agreed to pay $73 million to the families of victims of the 2012 massacre at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Connecticut. We take a look at the climate crisis, bringing you stories with major implications for our planet. And this week on Climate Critical, we focus on food, how climate change is threatening food production and the planet's ability to feed itself. Let's put that in context. According to the UN, more than 2 billion people across the globe, so that's nearly 1 in 3 of us, are not getting enough of the right food. And 1 in 10, so more than 800 million people, are chronically undernourished. On top of that, extreme weather and rising sea levels have an impact on crop yields, at the same time as policies to tackle climate change, like planting forests and growing biofuels, also means less land available to grow food on. And the problem's been made worse by pollution and intensive farming practices, which degrade and erode the soil. Demand, though, is rising, and it's estimated that by 2050 the world will need to produce something like 60% more food to feed a population approaching 10 billion.